Hey there, welcome to my channel. So, in this video, we are going to do a exploratory data analysis, commonly known as EDA, using the IPL 2024 Orange Cap Leaderboard dataset. As you can see from the screen, we got Virat, we got Gaikwad, Ed, Parag, and so on. So, first of all, if you're from India and you watch cricket, you know what I'm talking about and you know what is the data set that we are going to work with. But if you don't watch cricket and you're not from India, you might not understand what I'm trying to say. But still, you can watch this video because I will be covering a few concepts from Plotly and Pandas which can be useful for you as well. So let me give you a brief introduction of what we are going to do in this video. First, to work, first to do visualization, to do EDA, we need a dataset. So first we need to extract the dataset we have here in this ESPN website into a CSV format. We need this dataset in a CSV format so that we can load that CSV file into our Colab and do our visualizations. So to do that, I'm going to first extract this table using Excel. I will tell you how. Then after extracting it, I'm going to use Pandas to query the the records that I need, and then I'm going to use Plotly to visualize it. Let me give you an example. Let's say if I want to know the top 10 players who scored the most sixes in the tournament. So to do that, first I need to query the top 10 players with the most number of sixes, and after querying that, which we will do using pandas, then we will use Plotly to visualize it. Okay, I'm using Plotly because with Plotly we can create interactive charts and graphs. You will understand what is interactive in a few minutes. So let's first extract the data. Just follow along, do whatever I'm doing, and code along with me. Open your Google Colab, and the first step is click on this link. This will copy the link of this table and open your Excel spreadsheet and open a blank workbook. Click on this data section. Please ignore the background noise. I'm in a library and people are still shouting. I don't know why. Copy the link, paste the link you just copied in this box and click on OK. This is going to take a few minutes, so be patient. Now Excel is extracting the table from the ESPN website. Click on table 1. As you can see, we got the table. But there is a mistake. As you can see, the column is like column 1, 2, 3. But we want this as a column. Players, span, matches, innings. I don't know what it is. I will tell you. Let's check what that is. This is not out. Okay, the number of time the player was not out. Runs, etc. I want this the first row as my column, but I got a different column. So let's handle that. Click on transform data. Now a new window like this will get open. Now click on this and click on use first row as header. As I already told you, we want our first row to be our header. So click on this. Now you can see the first row is our header now. Now we can close this. We can close this window and click on keep. We got our data set. Now all we need to do is convert this into a CSV file and store it in your computer. So click on save this PC. I'm going to save this in a folder called dataset. I have a folder named dataset in my desktop. I'm going to store this as a CSV file. Click on this and I'm going to name this orange cap. I already have a dataset named orange cap 2024. I'm going to name it like this and I'm going to save it. Okay, what I mean to save on sheets integer using blah blah blah. Whatever. I'm going to delete this sheet. I want this table alone. Again, I'm going to save it as a CSV file, and this is IPL 2024 orange app. Save. Now I can close my Excel and move to Colab. I'm going to name this as Orange Cap 2024 EDA, Exploratory Data Analysis. And the first thing you need to do now is load the dataset that we have just created. Click on upload and here it is. So open this, click on OK. To load this dataset, we need to first import Pandas. Let's do that. Import Pandas as PD. I'm going to zoom this a little bit. Now I'm going to store this dataset inside a data frame called df pd.dataframe and copy the path of this dataset and paste it inside the quotes. Let's close this. What is the problem? Data frame not properly called. Oh, sorry. It's read CSV. It's a CSV file. We are going to read this and store this as a data frame inside a variable called df. So let's check the first 5 rows of this dataset. So we got Virat, we got Gaikwad, Ed, Parag, Sai Sudarshan, the top 5 orange cap leaderboard players. Now let's get into the fun part. Now we are going to visualize. Before that, I'm a very big Dhoni fan. Let's see at what place Dhoni is, in this leaderboard. To do that, what you need to do is df and df of player, which is this column, dot str dot contains Dhoni. Can you understand what I did just now? So as you can see in this player column is a string. So it has V Kohli, RCB and RD Gaikwad, CSK and etc. So inside this player column there will be a record named Dhoni. I don't know what will be the full name, whether it may be MS Dhoni or it may be Singh Dhoni. I don't know what it will be, but there will be Dhoni, a word called Dhoni for sure. So I'm going to go inside this players column and it's a string and and it contains a word called Dhoni. Extract me that. That's what I'm telling this. So we got it. We got Dhoni at the 60th place and he scored 161 runs. 37 is the highest, and with 13 sixes and 14 fours. Okay. We can also extract all the CSK players like we did for Dhoni. To do that, what you need to do is you need to df of player dot string dot contains CSK. As you can see, after every player's name, there is the franchise name as well. So we can use that to finish the players of a particular franchise. I'm going to finish the players of CSK. So let's run this. Now I got all the CSK players and their stats in a table. So we got Dhoni, Moeen Ali, Dubey, Mitchell, Jadeja, and so on. Let's get into the visualization. The first visualization that I'm going to do is the highest or the most number of sixes scored by a player. So as I already told you, we are going to visualize our data set using Plotly. So let's first import Plotly. Import Plotly.express as p. So first I need to finish the top 10 players with most number of sixes. So to do that, this is what I'm going to use a method called sort values. This is how you do it. df dot sort values, and inside this you need to give sixes. As you can see, the row, the name of the column is sixes. Sixes, comma, ascending equal to false, because default it will give me only it, by default it starts in an ascending order, which means a lowest to highest. I don't want the lowest to highest, I want highest to the lowest. So let's run this. Now I got all the rows arranged in order of the people scored more sixes. So Abhishek Sharma scored 41 sixes, Kohli scored 37, Nikki P scored 36, and Klassen scored 33. But I don't want all the 150 players. I just want the top 10 players. So I'm going to use dot add. Inside this, I'm going to give 10. And I'm going to run this now. Now I have only the top 10 players with most number of sixes. I'm going to store this table inside a variable called most sixes. Okay, now this table that I just fetched is in the variable most sixes. Now let's plot this. This is how you plot. ex dot, I'm going to use bar chart for this. Bar most sixes. Okay, first we need to give the data frame. Then in the x-axis, I want the players, and in the y-axis, I want the sixes. Let's run this. So X is not, I mean, it's not players, it's just player. Yeah, we got it. Now, as you can see, this is what I mean by interactive. If I use matplotlib or cbond, I will not be, if I over this, I will not get these values. As you can see, player name and sixes, and I have a lot of options as well. I can download this picture. There's a lot of option. I can zoom it, I can zoom out, I can scale, I can do a lot of things with this. Plotly is just amazing. There is no title. Just let's give a title. Title equal to most number of sixes I place. Now we got a title, we got player name, we got sixes. Now we are going to do a very similar thing for fours. Most number of fours scored by the top 10 players. I'm going to just copy this. I'm going to paste this here. I'm going to just change the sixes into fours and this into fours and run this. And I'm going to copy this as well, paste it here and change the y to 4 and the title to fours. This is all you need to do, and in this whole video this is what we are going to do. We are just going to make a few changes. With that few changes we are going to create a totally new visualization. So these are the players with some good number of fours. We got Tim David scored 61 number of fours, and Virat Kohli with 59, Abhishek Sharma 35. I think he likes scoring sixes only. Klassen 15, not bad. Yeah, this is a Fraser is a great player. Now, now let's check who faced the most number of balls in this tournament. As I already did, you can just copy this and here, and all you need to do is change this force into BF. BF is nothing but balls faced. So Virat Kohli has faced 455 balls. And wait, let's check for C. This guy faced just 280 balls and scored nearly 500 runs. He's great. Most balls faced, and I'm going to visualize this. Most balls faced, player, PF, most number of balls faced by players. So Virat Kohli faced the most number of balls and scored the most number of runs as well. Then comes Gaikwad, then KL Rahul, Sai Sudarshan, Parag, Samson, and so on. So these are the players who scored the most number of balls. We can also change the label name. As you can see here, we have BF. We can change this by a parameter called labels, and you need to create curly braces BF. And instead of BF, I want to change this as balls faced. We can even give an emoji like this, and let's run this. So as you can see, our label name is different now. Now let's check who scored a most number of 50s and hundreds. So to do that, we can copy this. This time I'm not going to check for top 10 players. I'm going to check for like the top 20 players within the data frame, this data frame, the main data frame. So px, I'm going to pass the data frame dot get 20, which will give me the first 20 rows of the main data frame. And the x-axis I want players, and in the y-axis I want both sixes, 64s, as well as sixes. You will understand what I'm doing. Most number of sixes and fours by players. Okay, we need to remove this label, and there is, first let me run this. Wait. This is what we call stack, because as you can see the number of fours scored is in the blue bar and the number of sixes scored is in the red bar, and it is on top of each other. This is what we call stack. We can change this into a different mode using a parameter called bar mode, and if I give something like group instead of stack, it is now going to be a group. Means we will have separate bar for sixes and fours. So the number of sixes scored by Virat is 59. The number of four scored by Virat is 37. And we can see that for all the other players. Or if we use stack, we will have the bar on top of each other. This is what it means. Now, let's try a different graph. Let's try scatter plot for the number of runs and the balls faced. So to do that, we want to ph dot scatter. I'm going to ef dot add top 20 players because I don't want to, mess the graph. And then I'm in the x-axis, I'm going to give bf, that is balls faced, and in the y-axis, I'm going to give the runs scored, and I'm going to give a title, balls faced versus runs scored. Let's run this. We can also give another parameter called color, and inside color I'm going to give player so that we can see the number of balls and runs scored by each player. So Virat Kohli is far away from everyone, obviously, great player. And in the second place we got Gaikwad and Rahul, Sai Sudarshan, and so on. So Virat Kohli faced the most number of balls as well as scored the most number of runs. Stem, nice. We can, as I already told you, we can also change the name of these labels using the labels parameter and create this pf and balls face. Okay, this is a scatter plot which says number of balls faced and the runs scored by players. Now let's check who has a good strike rate, who has the highest strike rate. To do that, we can use ph dot, we can use the bar chart itself, bar, and I'm going to pass df head of and the top 10 players, and x will be players, and y will be strike rate, which is SR, I think. Yes, it is strike rate. Let's simply plot this and check how it looks. Oh, it is giving me this the first 10 players from the DF, but I want people with the strike rate. So let's finish that record. DF of DF dot sort, wait, DF dot sort values, DF dot sort values are comma ascending equal to false. Okay, we got the strike rate, but as you can see, this guy would has faced just three balls and scored 300. We cannot count this, right? Because to have a good strike rate, the player should have faced at least 50 balls. So to sort that, we need to specify a condition, right? So we can do that by sort values. Mm, wait, f of and df dot df of balls phased should be greater than 50. Will this work? Obviously not. Wait, if of strike rate greater than 200. I think I need the help of ChatGPT now. Let's ask ChatGPT what to do. Oh, we got Bing, right? Let's try Bing. Okay, I got this. Uh, so this will give me players who faced more number of balls. And I think I used and df of strike rate greater than 200. I mean 200. Come on, give me. What's wrong, bro? Maybe I should use this or what? And df of strike rate df of strike rate greater than 200. And df of strike rate greater than 200. This one. Records players who faced more than 50 balls and has strike rate more than 200 using So here it is df dot balls phase greater than 50 and df dot. Hey, that's what I was doing, man. What's wrong? Is this and df of strike rate greater than 200. We got the players. So players, this five players has played more than 50 balls and has 200 plus strike rate. Good strike rate. I'm happy that Dhoni is there. Let's plot this. Px dot bar. Good strike rate. And in the x-axis I want the players, and in the y-axis I want the strike rate. So Fraser is first, Dhoni is second. Right. So let's finally check who has the most number of ducks. Px dot bar. Before that we need to finish the data. Df of 0, this is the ducks. As you can see, 0 is the ducks code. Dot dot obviously ducks. Oh, sorry, this ducks, and ascending equal to false. And I just want the top 10 players with the most number of ducks. I'm going to store ducks and px dot bar ducks player, and y is equal to duck. I'm going to give the label for this as well. I'm going to change the 0 to a duck and run this. Its labels, I mean it's small. Yeah. So Surya Kumar Yadav has the most number of ducks. Surya Kumar Yadav is a player who will score 40, either scores 40 plus or gets out for nothing. But he's a great player. And then we got Maxwell. It was not a good season for Maxwell. And 2 for some other players. And I think we can stop here now. I hope you learned something out of this video. And I think we are done. Thank you.